Hello, this is Nick with Through His Sights. I'm one of the founding members of the group. Here just, with everyone today, getting our interviews in, getting the whole process started. So we can try to bring some outdoors content to you guys, and you guys get to know us on a more personal level to follow us on our journey this fall.
Awesome. So what made you become an outdoorsman? How did you get involved with all that?
So I got involved, I couldn't even tell you an age. My grandfather, when I was very young, purchased about 50 acres of land, primarily wetlands and some woods, so we grew up on that, was able to do a little bit of deer hunting. When I was younger, it was turkey hunting. I'd go out with my dad when I was real young and just got to really enjoy the experience and the quality time together. Go out with my grandfather. We had these big tower blinds built, so we'd sit in those, and it was just the coolest thing ever, even if it was just a doe or yearling to walk out. Being a 5-6-year-old sitting there shaking in the blind, and you not having any idea what that feeling was until later years, and you get a little more figured out. But I'd say that's really where it started, just owning that original piece of property, and getting started there with my dad and grandfather.
Awesome. What brings you back to the woods every time?
What brings me back to the woods is seeing the amount of effort that myself, my dad, my grandfather, and some of our other family members have put into that property. Like I said, we own 50 acres, and then we bought the 50 acres behind it, so we got a nice big chunk of land that I know isn't cheap, and to have family that's willing to have that and maintain it every year, and farm it, and do all the necessary things to have a nice piece of land for us grandchildren and his children to hunt and grow up on. It's a true blessing. Not very many people get to say, I get to go out to my hunting property that's 100 acres of land, and it's unbelievable.
How did you get involved with Through His Sights?
So Through His Sights, so Marvin, the other founder, and I have been best friends since 5-6 years old. And it was one of the always things that we could relate to is his dad liked to hunt and my dad liked to hunt, and so he would go to Alabama growing up on hunts, and we had our property and stuff like that. And we'd be 7, 8, 9 years old, and there's always a field across Marvin's house that always had beans. We'd load up our backpacks, put our camouflage on, and we didn't have any guns or anything like that, bow, nothing. We'd just go. There was this one tree in the middle of the field. We'd sit underneath it, and we would sit there and, with our little binoculars and everything like that, our little grunt tubes that we would take from our dads, and we thought we were the coolest cats in the woods. We had no idea what we were doing, but we were hunting, and it was just cool, because we'd wake up, Dad, can you wake us up at 6 o'clock so we can go out there and hunt? Yeah, buddy, we got you. So we'd get out there and do what we had to do, and it was just, it was something fun. And then, through the years, we always grew up fishing together. There's a couple different times I've taken Marvin out on hunts to our property, and so it's just being together with your best friend, be able to do what you guys love, and then coming together with Ben and Wes is just been a blessing. Marvin's getting married to Ben's sister here soon, which kind of is the bridging factor of bringing Ben and Wes in with us, and it's just something that if he told me 2 months ago that we would be sitting here doing this and having this group together and these ideas and these plans, I would have told you were crazy.
So talk about your faith a little bit. Like, what's your favorite Bible verse and how you feel connected with God when you're out in the woods?
So, like, the biggest thing with being out in the woods and with God is just, is just to live and to learn. That's what all your faith is all about, is learning. Each Sunday you go to church and you're there, and the pastor has a teaching. He's not there to just, howdy folks, we're here at church on Sunday, an hour and a half, you guys can go to Bob Evans. It's really to learn, and every time you go out in the woods, if you're not going out to learn something, whether it be scouting or just walking through aimlessly is cool. It's nice to be out there. But if you're going through and you're really taking the time to learn your land, like I said, I'm blessed with the opportunity to have 100 acres of land that I can hunt at any time and go out to at any time. So for me to not take advantage of that and scout that to my best ability, and learn everything about it, it would almost be the same way with your faith. I'm Christian, but if you're never doing anything behind it, nobody wants to be a poser. I guess that's the way to say it. But to follow your actions and have meaning to your actions is the most important thing to me. And a verse that I really like about that I'm going to pull up on my phone, just so I can say it correctly for you guys, is Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength, and they will soar like wings on eagles. They will run and not grow weary, and they will walk and not be faint. It's all about having that hope, that desire. I've had seasons where I could go out hunting every weekend and not see a buck. Just deer, yearlings, or does, yearlings, and it's just, man, this is defeating. Like, where's that 180th buck that we had on pictures in September? Like, where's he at? But just to have the perseverance and the self-will to get back in the woods each week and learn and take positives of it. Like, maybe it's something on my end to why, I'm not seeing these deer, and it's an action I have to change, and it helps you be a better outdoorsman and a better follower of Christ.
What are your goals for the 2020 season for Through His Sights?
So the goals for the group is just for everyone to have a safe, successful season. I know when it comes to, tree stand hunting here in Ohio, I've had encounters where I know I've had an unfortunate event, my dad, his friends, so there's always that opportunity, and it's not something a lot of people like to talk about, but safety is the number one thing, that everyone can get through the season safely, through bow season, gun season, and just everyone take the time to check their gear, make sure they're ready and mentally prepared as well as physically prepared to have a good season, as well as I know I've taken it accountability to myself to prepare more than I ever have for this season, with hanging new stands, doing mineral sites, getting the cameras up, and getting really to learn our property and become a student of the land. That's a big thing for myself. And then, like Wes had said earlier, man, really I've known Marvin way too long for him not to got to put his hands on a set of antlers yet. So that's my biggest goal. Whether I can, maybe I'm hunting up at my property and I have 3 encounters with the same deer, and I'm like, hey Marv, I need to make a trip up here. I could put you on this buck. All you have to do is close the deal. That's what I'm going to do. Even if it takes away from opportunity of me having a great buck, having those around me, strive and be successful is the most important thing for me.
Awesome. Thank you.